guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Elle and I am the coffee addicted reader. I have my coffee and now it's time to talk about books. Actually, more specifically, the authors of those books. That's right, today I'm actually going to be talking about the authors that I want to read in 2022. So if you've watched my 2021 favorites video, if you haven't, I'll probably link it below. If you want to check that out, feel free. If not, then stay here and watch this video, I guess. But if you've watched that video, then you know that I didn't really read a lot in 2021. I almost said 2022 then. But I didn't really read that much in 2021, which is really, really sad. There are lots of authors that I really want to read, especially in the romance genre. Because last year I read quite a few fantasy romances, and I read a few other, romance books, if that makes sense. But this year I kind of want to read, I just really want to read a lot more in terms of romance authors. And so today I'm actually just going to go through some authors that I really want to read. Not saying that I haven't read any books by these authors. I've just read maybe some of them I probably haven't read yet. Others I've only read maybe one or two of their books. But I just kind of want to read their backlists in a way. I just want to go through their books. So yeah. And if you like any of these authors, or if there's any particular book that I should read by any of these authors that you know of, feel free to let me know in the comments down below, so that way I kind of know where to start, because otherwise I have no idea. All right, so let's start off with the first author. None other than Candy Steiner. Okay, I've read her Rebecca Brothers series. I've read the first two, and I read half of the third book. Not saying that I don't like it. I was just reading it on audiobook, and I kind of fell off the audiobook wagon. I want to pick it back up, so I probably want to finish that series as well. But I really want to read more of her books. I definitely want to read The Wrong Game and The Right Player, because it definitely feels like right up my alley. Also, I kind of like sports romances. I don't read a lot of them, but I really want to, because I do love them. I love sports romances. But I definitely, I don't know how you guys are gonna feel when I say this. I have not read Love Letter to Whiskey or any of those. Haven't read that one at all. It's definitely one that I want to read, but I don't know. I see a lot of things on TikTok and comments and all those things saying how much the book destroyed them, how it made them cry and all that stuff. And I'm just like, I don't know how I feel about that. I kind of need to work my way up to that, I think. I will read it. That is my goal. I want to read that by the end of 2022. But for right now, I definitely need to work my way up to it, okay? Just be patient with me. I need to work my way up to it, okay? I need to brace myself for it, okay? I have can't even say this word, revelry. I have revelry on my e-reader. It's there waiting for me. I'll probably read that I will read that, but I'll probably read that next because I've already got it. But we'll see how we go. It is definitely going to be my goal to read the backlist of these authors in 2022, among other things. The next author is Janna Darling. So I've read half of one of her books. Again, it's nothing to do with the book. It was actually Lessons in Corruption. It was a little bit hard for me to read that book because usually I'm pretty good at separating fiction to real life. But I felt like it was definitely too close to home for me, because it is about a female teacher that has relations and a relationship with a male student. Yes, I think he's 17, 18, around those lines, but it's still very, very, still a little bit close to home for me. It's very hard for me to get on board with that relationship. But I think I just need to push through and just try and get over that. I mean, it should be pretty easy, but I'll get over that, and it's definitely going to be one that I really want to read I really want to try and read that in maybe this month. I'll probably read it this month. I'll probably listen to it on audio, because that'll be a little bit easier for me to do. But yeah, I really want to read Janna Darling. I can't speak today. I can't say words. What is with me? But I really want to read Janna Darling's books, because I find that a lot of her books have, there are some taboo relationships, and I do like my taboo. More taboo, the better. Like, okay, not a fan of like really big age gaps, like where the girl is 16, the guy is like 60 or something like that. That's a little bit too far for me personally. No judgment if that's your thing. It's just not mine. But yeah, so that is not something that I'm gonna deal with. But I do like the idea of what I've read of her books so far, like in terms of the blurbs of her books. So yeah, definitely want to read her books, especially Dangerous Temptations. I've seen a lot of reading vlogs with that. Very much interested in that. Definitely interested. So yeah, gonna be ticking that off my to-do list. The next author I've read 2 books by, and it's Emily Mcintyre. I'm always stuffing up with these names. What is going on with me? So yeah, Emily Mcintyre. I've read Beneath the Stars, which is book 1 of her Sugar Lake series. I haven't read the rest of the books in the series yet. Yet being the key word there. I've read Hooked, which is her fairy tale retelling. I think it's Never After series. I'm going to be reading Scarred when it comes out, and I really want to read, I think it's Be Still My Heart or something like that. It's a book that she's written with, oh my God, I can't remember the name of this author. Why can't I remember the name of this author? But I will put the image of the cover somewhere on the screen, okay? But I love what I've read of Emily Mcintyre, all right? She writes these characters and these relationships, some of them are so twisted and just, they pull at you and you want more, you can't help. It's like, at the risk of sounding like Edward, it's like a drug to me, okay? It is a drug where when I read her books, I can't focus on anything else. Penelope Douglas is definitely one of those as well. I've only read a couple of her books, but every time I read her books, I don't want to do anything else. Just no one bother me if I'm reading any of those books, okay? But yeah, that's another one. I would like to read Penelope Douglas as well. I've only read a few. I've read Credence, and I'm currently reading Six Demons? Did I get that right? Pretty sure I did. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Anyway, I've been told to read Punk 57, and I think it's Corrupt, I think. But there are so many books that I really want to read. 2022 is going to be amazing with books, I hope. The next author, I've read quite a few books of hers. Quinn. Love her books. They make me laugh like nothing else. I read most of the Locker Room series. I think I'm up to, I think I've got to read The Change Up and the rest of the books that follow that. I've read the first book in the Port Snow series. I've read The Modern Gentleman and the Brideman Boss Groom, which is so hilarious. I will say that. It's just so amazing. I love it. With the party popper. If you've read the book, you know. I can just see it right now, that scene. I just remember laughing so hard. And I read that while on the treadmill, like a while ago, like when it first came out. Read that and I was laughing on the treadmill. Everyone was looking at me like I've got 2 heads or something. It was really weird, but so good. Anyway, I really want to read the rest of her books, like The Highland Fling. Like, everyone was talking about that book and I really want to read it. Same thing with Kiss Don't Tell. Oh my God. Yes, that is something that I'm going to read because it just needs to happen. It really needs to happen. Because I think it's about like a girl that gets stuck in a cabin or in a house like with a bunch of guys. So I'm like, yes, right up my alley, ticking all my boxes. It is, yeah, definitely something that I need to get into. The next 2 are a duo, and it's Vi Keelan and Penelope Ward. Okay, so I've read some of their books. I've read Room Hate, Happily Letters After, Dirty Letters, and I think that's it. I think that's all I've read so far from either one of them. I'd like to read their individual works as well as more of their combined works because they are so talented and they do create these amazing stories that pull on your heartstrings, especially sorry, happily letters after. I don't even know if I'm saying that correctly. Hopefully I am, but I'm sure you guys know what I mean. But I'd like to read some of their other books and I'd like to collect them as well. I'd like to get them in physical copy. But one of the things that I want to do this year is read primarily on my e-reader. Like, I'm going to be reading the physical books that I've got on my shelf. I might do a little bit of a clean out because there are some books here that I will not read anymore because, you know, my high school self would have liked it, but it's a little bit too, I don't know what the word is. I'm not going to say innocent. It's not innocent. No, that's not the word. But it's definitely just not where I'm at anymore. So I'm thinking about getting rid of them and having more space. So that way, when I read a book on e-reader that I absolutely love, if it's a favorite, I'm going to buy it in physical copy. So I'm buying it twice and I'm supporting the author a little bit more as well. So that way, my shelf is going to be full of books that I absolutely love, and I can't talk today, that I absolutely love. Yes. So that way, if anyone asks me, like, oh, I want a book to read, is there any book that you would recommend? Like, after I ask them, like, okay, what kind of books do you like to read? And if you like romance, then that's when I take them in here. For some unknown reason, they're in my house. And I'm like, okay, take your pick. And let's pretend like I'm actually going to let you lend any of my books because, you know, I don't always do that. So that's something that I definitely want to do in terms of, like, my books and 2022 and all those things. Okay, so last author. And I'm sure there's heaps of authors. There are many authors that I want to read more of. I'm not including authors that only have like a couple of books. I'm only really talking about authors that have quite a lengthy backlist. Because if I were to include authors that only have like 1 to 2 books out, well, the list would be a lot longer. But the next and last author that I'm going to mention is M. Robinson. Now, I have not read any of M. Robinson's books. I follow her on Instagram, on TikTok, and I love the stuff that she posts. I love her relationship with Boss Man, who is her husband. I just love their dynamic. It's just so amazing, and how open she is with her readers and her audience. It's just amazing. I love it. And it kind of makes you feel connected to her as an author. But I would really like to read her books because just the way that she is online, I'm just like, okay, I want to read this, especially when I've got 2 books in mind that I want to start off with. What is it called? I think Second Chance Contract and Second Chance Vow? I don't know. I think that's it, yeah. But yeah, just those books in particular, I want to read. I'll start off with them and see where I go from there. But yeah, that is definitely going to be ones that I like the most out of what I've seen so far. And that concludes my list of authors that I really want to read in 2022. Again, if there's any particular books, any particular book that by any of these authors that you think I should start off with or you think I should jump into, definitely let me know in the comments down below, and I can definitely add that to my list. It'll make everything a little bit easier for me, so that way I don't have to think, oh, I don't know which one is going to be good and which one's going to be better to start with. I don't know. So yeah, definitely let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to click the subscribe button so that way you don't miss any future videos. So drink lots of coffee. Don't forget to drink lots of coffee, tea, whatever it is that you like to drink. Unless it's alcohol, then maybe don't drink too much of that, especially if you're driving. Drive safely, drink responsibly, all those things. Read lots of books, and have a fantastic day. Bye.